Big up yourself.
Women are not feeling safe right now, and Sarah Everard's case has triggered a lot of women. It has put the Met Police under scrutiny, and so it should. And I'm here to talk about it, guys. This video is going to be slightly a little bit different. Usually when the verdict came out, I would have just put out the video just as a general news report, but I feel triggered, I'm not gonna lie, and I spent all night yesterday watching videos, reading reports, talking to friends, and I was literally like, I need to sit down and I need to raise my concern as a woman. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I'm going to talk about the Sarah Everard's case, because honestly speaking, when I first reported about it, there wasn't that much information. All we knew was that an officer had kidnapped her. This is what had happened. She had died, and of course it erupted a massive outrage. It caused a lot of question and also a lot of conversations online about women's safety. And you know, I'm just reading some comments and reading people's thought process behind it. How should women feel safe? How should men make women feel safe? And it is scary, but scary is an understatement, because number one, the fact that it was an officer that did this raises massive alarm, especially for officers that do not wear uniform. And now the Met Police are saying that people should question the Met Police that are not wearing uniform. Wayne Cousin showed a warrant card, and he also handcuffed Sarah in order to kidnap her. Now I've gone a little bit into the video, but please, I do want to put a trigger warning to this video, because I'm going to be using some words and terms that can be very triggering. But I think this video is so important for me to talk about, because having conversations with my friend yesterday, it really raised alarms, not just even about this particular case, but about the safety of women and how women are feeling right now. Yes, we understand that we are living in a very dangerous world, but how are we supposed to trust the authority that we are supposed to look out for safety, that are supposed to protect us, and they are the ones doing this? And I say they, and although the police do not regard Wayne as an officer, I was watching one of the exclusive interviews with an ex-cop, and he was basically saying that what people have to understand is that Wayne is a murderer who happened to be a police officer, and not an officer who is a murderer. And I think that concept and that ideology, that breakdown, is very important for our psyche to comprehend the situation and what's happened. Now, I don't think we will fully understand it, because there's still so many potholes. There is still so many things that do not make sense. Number one of the reasons why the police is under scrutiny is because of Wayne's history. I'm talking to a friend, and she was even saying that on the radio, the officers were even stating that they used to make jokes about him being that he looked like a, and a friend of Wayne's, I believe, or cousin, I can't remember which one, was even saying that he had dated a girl who was underage. She was 14 years old. Now, he had behaviors, or he had a past that could lead to a criminal. So why would he still be recruited in the police force? Your past history should really matter, you know, because this will have like a ripple effect. Like, when as soon as people find out that, yo, you've dated underage girls, you've had this, you've had that, like, people are going to be concerned, like, and this is the cop that is coming to my house to question me about this incident. No thank you. Wayne Cousins didn't have any criminal convictions prior to when he was hired or when he was recruited. However, he was linked to 2 previous allegations of indecent exposure, and to me it's kind of like, this is a red flag. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand why the Met Police would hire someone like that. Like, the guy is just weird. Like, the guy was weird. His colleagues were saying that he was weird. It's really tricky, because already we are fighting with this demarcation between police and the youth, police and black people, police and this, and now it's like police and women. Like, the police are just not winning at the moment. Like, they're just not able to gain the trust of society. Like, they're just getting it wrong all the time and doing things like this, like making mistakes like this. Like, it's just not on. Like, you know, there's a whole conversation about women walking home alone in the dark, and recently influencer Miriam Musa made a video about Uber drivers, Bolt drivers, and walking home at night, and how they will literally just like drop her at random places because they don't want to pay congestion charges, etc. And it's just kind of like, there is a massive safety conversation, and this conversation like is too big to even put into just one video, but I just had to come on and just raise my concern and talk about this, like from a genuine place, like from a real concerned place, rather than just giving you guys a report what's happened. I'm pretty much, you've seen it everywhere, you can read it, you can read about it everywhere. But at the same time, like, we as a public, we have to ask questions, and we have the right to ask questions. First of all, as a woman, like, I wouldn't be walking the streets in the dark at night. Like, I can understand depending on where you are in the country, like certain places, like in the city, for example, like in London, it's a little bit difficult to drive. There's so many congestion charges. I mean, does this have an implication on it as well? Like, do you get what I mean? Like, there is so many things, because at the same time, like, this is happening in London. In London, when you're driving, like, it's so hard to like cross certain areas because you have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. And for example, with the whole taxi situation, Uber drivers and Bolt drivers, they don't want to cross certain areas because they don't want to be paying. It's like, are the government looking at all of these aspects? Is the police looking at all of these aspects? Like, why are they putting so many restrictions and limitations, and then blame women like, oh, well, you shouldn't be walking home at night anyway? Well, excuse me, when I'm trying to book a taxi and the taxi doesn't want to take me to my exact location because they don't want to pay congestion charge that you put in place, how is that my fault? Because I am now left stranded. There is so many things, like, this is a ripple effect. And to me, I kind of feel like the government, the police, the authorities in general need to really take a look at this case and see how can they create a safe space, a safe environment. What regulations, what things can they put in place to ensure that women and men, because to be honest, like, I would get scared as well. Like, if my partner was walking home, I don't know, for whatever reason, I wouldn't be at ease, to be honest. I would be like, what are you doing? Like, I don't like things like that because I don't trust the streets like that. During the conversation in the radio that me and my friend was talking about, there was a guy that was stating that he can basically just like walk in the streets or go for a jog or go whatever, like walk at night, and they were talking about the privilege, and like a woman could never do that. It's not safe for anybody, by the way. Like, it is not safe for anybody. The bottom line is, Sarah was killed, she was murdered, she was raped, she was burnt by a cop who came, presented his badge, possibly used COVID laws, he used his authority, he misused his position, he manipulated the situation. This is somebody who had been linked to 2 allegations. This is a big problem. Like, this is a big problem. Now, he will be facing life, and this is the first time an officer has been sentenced to life. He will be there for the rest of his life. He's going in prison for life. But you know, like, the things that he did to her, that's mad. Like, that's somebody who's psychologically not correct. Do you get? He literally spent a month planning this. So when he was roaming the streets of London, he was looking for somebody, and unfortunately it happened to be Sarah, but it could have been anybody at that point. He was looking for somebody. That he premeditated this for a whole month. So did they not see any weird behaviors? Did they not, like, and wasn't he new to the force? I think he was new to the force. Like, I'm sorry, yeah, but the police are proper dodgy. They need to be scrutinized, because There is so many things that are not right within the police force, and it's so sad that there are good cops and there are bad cops, and it's really hard to tell the difference. And as women, like, if a cop approaches me now, I'm not gonna feel safe. And don't forget, they're undercover cops. Like, don't forget, there are cops who don't wear uniform. Guys, I'm sorry, but I had to come in and rant today because I got so many things like going through my head, and I'm like, I don't even know where I'm gonna go with this video, what I'm gonna say. But it's scary. It's scary, and this shouldn't be a conversation of, oh, but women should be doing this, oh, women shouldn't be doing this. This is deep. Like, this is a big problem. And I don't think it's just a matter of society trying to deal with it on its own. It's also a matter of the authority looking deep within. It's also a matter of the government coming in and seeing what they can do. And also London needing to do something about all of these damn charges. Because women in London are not feeling safe to walk home alone. Especially now that we are coming into winter. Listen, it starts getting dark about 5. It will start getting dark from like 4, do you know what I mean? So by 6 o'clock, it's not even like you're out really late. It's dark already. But yeah, guys, like, it's just really crazy. And my condolences goes out to Sarah's family. Like, it's just the thought, like, when I was watching it, like, what was going on, like, I was in so much shock. Like, I didn't even know what to say. It's the things that he did, and it was the fact that he premeditated it for like a month. That's what was weird to me. And not only that, but he was also recruited. And then even when they went to questioning and they were like, oh, do you know this person? He was just like, no, I don't. And then he was trying to say that he owed money, and he owed money. And on top of that, when you owe money, apparently it's also another red flag. They don't call it red flag in the police force, but it's a red flag also in the police force. I think he owed like 20,000 or something like that. And on top of that, it's like he hired different cars, but then he was using all of his own cards, and like he was leaving trails behind. But yeah, guys, anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and please do subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. I am on your screen pretty much every single day. If you are returning, thank you so much for returning and sticking around. I'll speak to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.